Hello everyone. Let us get started with C++ certification training. So today we are going to look at what are vectors in C++. The topics that we are going to cover under this discussion are what are vectors, what are various member functions of vectors, what is a vector iterator, we will look at what are vector modifiers, and then what are vector capacity. So let's begin our discussion with what are vectors. So we will go through these points to understand vectors in more details. So vectors are the same as dynamic array. Dynamic means which can resize itself, right? So they can resize themselves automatically when an element is inserted or deleted depending on the need for the task to be executed, where the storage of vector is handled automatically by the container. So as you can see that this particular statements clearly states that if you insert a value in the vector and if it does not have enough space to hold that element, the vector size will be resized, or let's say it will be increased. And therefore, as you have seen in the statement, that it is dynamic in nature, it will resize. So if you delete an element, it can shrink in size. If you need to add more elements, it will increase in size. So let us look at some important points of vectors. Vectors are the most important container in C++ standard template library. So basically it is one of the most important containers that are available in C++ standard template library. Now in vectors, elements are stored in sequential manner. So they can be accessed using iterators. So sequential manner meaning, let's say if this was a cell, or rather an array, or let's say blocks, and these blocks are put next to each other. So this is, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So they are sequential in nature, they are one after the another, right? So in vector, elements are stored in sequential manner. So if you put an element, let's say characters A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D, E. So these are stored in sequential manner in a vector. Now moving on, unlike an array where only given number of values can be stored, vector can grow and shrink at runtime. So this I have already explained to you earlier that they are dynamic in nature. So depending upon whether you want to add more elements, it can either grow in size, or if you want to remove elements from vector, it can shrink in the size. Now element can be inserted at the end of vector container. So taking the original example which I had just explained to you. So in case if this was a vector, for you, right? And you have element A here, B here, C here, D here. You can add more elements at the end of this particular vector here, right? So elements can be inserted at the end of vector container. Also, vector has a lot of functions to perform operations, like you can sort the elements in an vector, you can do reverse sorting. For example, you can pop the element out of the vector, you can push elements within the vector, you can find the size of the vector, and there are a lot more functions that are available uh, to you to perform various operations on the vector. Also, vectors are very efficient in terms of performance. So all these operations which you are trying to do in terms of sorting, reversing, popping, pushing, deleting, all these operations, they can impact the performance of the program, but the internal implementation of vector is such that you will have a very good performance in spite of performing all this operations with the help of methods that are provided in the vector. So vectors are very efficient in terms of performance as well. Now, what is the syntax to create a vector? As you can see here, you say vector, you define the type of object maybe, or a type of data here, and the name of variable. So if you want to say vector, you will say vector int, for example, open bracket, close bracket, and you can say here a variable name v1. So basically what is happening is you are creating a vector which can hold integer values, and the name of the vector is v1. So vector is basically a container to hold values. Now this has been explained with an example here, as you can see below. And also this is a representation of a vector, as you can see, which is holding decimal numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 here, right? So these are stored in sequential manner. This is one, then next, then next, then next, then next. So they are stored in sequential manner, and you have an option which we will see in some time in next few slides. Then you can access the first element and the last element and the subsequent elements with in between these first and last with the help of iterators. So moving on, let us look at what are some of the member functions of vector. Now this is a very exhaustive list, and I have taken a number of functions or a subset of functions and shown here for your reference. I have taken it from this particular URL or website. Now iterators, if you define an iterator on a vector, it has good number of functions. As you can see, for capacity you have good number of functions, for modifier you have good number of functions, right? So we cannot cover all of them, but of course we will look at few of them. For example, begin is to return an iterator at the beginning. So if this was a vector here, let's say for example this is a vector, right, and it is having, let's say, 4 elements a, b and c. A, B, C and D. Begin will point you to the beginning of the vector, right? And returns an iterator at the end of the vector, right? So like this, you have other types as well, other member functions, like to find capacity. This is to check whether the container, which in this case is a vector, whether it is empty or not. Size is there, returns the number of elements, right? So like this, you have few others as well in capacity. Then we have modifiers. Now what does clear do? Clear will clear the content, or it will remove all the contents within this vector, for example, right? So insert is basically to insert an element. So like this, you have lot of member functions that are available in vector, and we shall look at some of them with an example also. So let us look at this example in the slide. We'll cover this example uh, on our VMs also. But before that, let's briefly understand this piece of code in front of you. So here I'm making use of two functions, which is begin and end. Begin function returns an iterator that points to the first element in the vector. So if this was a vector, let's say I have this vector here again, right? So I'm putting a few elements here, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6 and 5. So I'll put here 10, 9, 8, 7, 6 and 5, right? So what I'm doing is this particular statement, it is a vector declaration. I'm saying that I want to create a vector which will hold integer data type, and the name of the vector is vector underscore example. Now what I'm doing is I'm running a for loop and putting in values in the vector. So initially when the vector was created, it was empty. So one by one, I'm pushing the elements at the end of the vector. So vector will have first 10, then it will have 10 followed by 9. So this way, after this loop is executed, this is how the vector will look like. Now after that, what we are trying to do is I'm creating a begin and an end, or rather I'm making use of begin and end function. Basically, this is a syntax to create an iterator which points to the beginning here. So let me go and clear some of this here. So if this was your vector, this auto I equal to vector example begin will point the vector in the beginning and the end will point here, right? Now we can access the value of that particular element within the vector using star of I. You can see, please note carefully, there is a star here, right? So once we iterate through the vector using this iterator, it will display all the values from 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, as you will see shortly with an example we will try. So basically, this is an example of how we make use of vector iterator. So now let's move on and see some of the vector modifier. So what is a modifier? In this case, we say pushback. Basically, pushback functions insert an element from the end. So if we had a vector, for example, right? So if you assume this to be the beginning, this to be the end, the insertion happens at the end. So what we are doing it here is we are declaring a vector and start to add element to that. After we do that, we create an for loop and display the elements one by one. Now after that, we made use of this method here. So if you will look carefully, we are trying to pop the element out of the vector. So if this was my vector, let's say, which had 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5 here, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. If I pop the elements, it will remove only this last element. And if you after that display the entries from the vector, you will see the output is going to be 10, 9, 8, 7, 6 and not 5 because it has already been popped from the container or the vector. So this is how we basically make use of some of the modifiers. Modifiers are the functions which modify the content of this container, which is a vector container in this particular case. So moving on, we will look at some capacity functions. So what are capacity functions? As you can see in the slide, we have size, we have capacity, we have resize function. So size returns the number of elements present in a current vector. Then capacity returns the size recently allocated to vector. And then you also have an option to resize it. So let's say we are declaring a vector here. After that, what we do is we are putting 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5 entries in the vector. So it is 6 elements we are putting, right? Now, if you try to go ahead and display the size, this will return you the number of elements in the vector, as you can see. Now, capacity returns the capacity of the vector. And then finally, you can resize it also. If you will resize it, the size shrinks to 4. So this is how you can make use of various capacity functions that are available in a vector container. So let us head to our lab VMs and try all this with some examples. So finally, to summarize our discussion, at the end of this session, you should be able to understand what are vectors and know how to make use of member functions for a vector container. Finally, to summarize our discussion, we have seen what are vectors and what are some of the member functions for a vector container in C++. That's all in this discussion. Thank you so much for your time.